Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. We got a Barncast production here. We are streaming a game here. Kind of came up on a bit of short notice. I'm still waiting for my coffee to brew, but this is going to be a game between Pat Dunford and Lukas Schieck. Um, sorry, and let's go ahead and do that. Stream info updated. Cool. All right. So we just had a chance to pop in here. This is a top 16 game. We've got, it looks like Lukas in the blue. He is running, looks to be a kind of modified Guardians of the Galaxy list. Got a Miles Morales in there, which is a good splash. Luke Cage, Ghost Spider. So, ooh, okay, a dual affiliated Guardians of the Galaxy Web Warrior. That is sexy. And on the flip side of things, we have Pat Dunford, who is running Web Warriors as well, but a pure Web Warriors list. Now, a bunch of people were telling me that he was going to cram Crimson Dynamo and everything, but I don't see a Crimson Dynamo here. But I do see two varieties of Pete Spider Folk. So they've already gone and done, it looks like, their priority roles, and Lukas has won that. So this is a really interesting matchup between Spider teams, one with the Guardians of the Galaxy splash and one without. These guys are not necessarily known for Web Warrior play, so really exciting stuff. And if I hear correctly, it sounds like my casting partner was able to kind of clear out his throat in the early morning air of our Northwest 5 a.m. Daylight savings time fugue state. And welcome to the cast, Mr. Blair Bunky. What's going on, Blair? So yeah, Lucas went with his secures. Sorry, I'm trying to get my cup of coffee. Well, then he's given credit for, but well, there's just a giant MacGuffin sitting in the corner with Lucas's team, and that's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Um, and he is just going to be a potential issue in this matchup. And then yeah, the F-shaped struggle for the cube. So really interesting. Let me get to yeah on Gamma. I mean, I feel like you got to. I don't think Cosmic Ghost Rider is actually that great on condensed crises. Um, if for no other reason than the fact that he doesn't have any throws or any sort of like out of action damages, like even like a regular Ghost Rider with Wicked Judgment that can be very impactful on a condensed map. What he does have is the ability to kind of do a got your back type situation, which may come up in this game, but it won't come up that often with it being a Web Warriors traditional look. So it he just isn't the greatest I think brawling character. One thing that is going to be even more of a more than likely pivot for Lucas into his Guardians look is that this is an F shape, so there is a dead center extract. He has priority, and I would imagine, even though I haven't had a chance to see his TTCs, that he's got eyes because he definitely has Bill in his roster. So being able to grab that extract lead, pull back, and then have Ghost Rider sit in the center of the board seems like a very powerful look. So I do not. You know what? I'm gonna go bold. I'm just gonna ask in the chat. We got a response back from Mr. Schieck. 17. Yeah. It's a bit of a wider look than I was expecting from well, actually I shouldn't say that. It's because Cosmic Ghost Rider is sort of like one of those Malekith type pieces where I think you want to try to go as wide as possible. The biggest difference between Cosmic and Malekith is that Cosmic at absolute most during his activation is only dazing 2 characters at absolute max. Um, Other characters at his threat level, with their terrain throws and their attacks, you could be looking at upwards of 3, if not more, um, because of throw triggers and different things off of spenders. If you're a Hulk, or even with a Maw, has got the ability to throw people off of his spender. It's been a while since I've actually hosted a stream, so I'm trying to be a little bit more disciplined on the camera angle. So normally I kind of like to zoom in and hop around on stuff, but just hold it still. Yeah. So tactics cards over on Lucas's side, you're looking at Crew of the Milano, Brace for Impact, Sacrifice, Mission Objective, Galaxy's Greatest, and yes, he did go Guardians. First thing you're going to notice that he's put Toad in the center of the board, which is really interesting. And the other thing that I think that is really interesting is that he didn't bring eyes, so for some reason he's not opting to take that center extract. Um, on Pat's side of the board, you've got Spider Tracker all webbed up, Advanced R&D, Aunt May's Wheat Cakes, which is a card that I kept questioning, but I am hearing from several Web Warriors players after the last Web Warriors game I casted that it's quite popular. And then Fallback. So rosters, we've got Toad, Black Cat, Miles Morales, Spectacular Spider-Man, or Three-Peat as he is known on some circles, Moon Knight, and Ghost Spider. Lucas's side, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Toad, Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Beta Ray Bill. So an interesting choice to go with the, as I would call it, like a naked rocket. Um, Even on this, where you can kind of sit in the back, I don't know that he's all that safe against a Web Warriors team who can just pull him around if nothing else. Now, I would be willing to bet that this is a Pat Dunford created map. Of course it is. Because it has terrain that's in the way of deployment. Yeah, you're running into this. Yeah, I haven't changed any of my settings. Uh, Insidious, Blair Monkey. Okay, yeah, so no one can hear Blair. All right, let's try to mess around here with some settings. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing your mic coming in, but for some reason it's not coming in that strong on OBS. You might want to check the settings on your end as far as maybe what's going on as far as your mic input, um, because I'm getting everything fine over here. But for anybody that is wondering, Blair kind of correctly called out that we have a very big initial power roll for Cosmic Ghost Rider. Him starting out with uh, 5 power on turn 1 on this Condensed Crisis is going to be pretty interesting. I have opted to flip it around so that we can just get the color and stream review everything all set up correctly on the two sides. And that way I can always kind of go forward and we can take a look at the dice trays if we so decide, which I am going to do. So y'all are just going to need to deal with that because I like to look at the dice trays. So both players have opted to open up with toad grabs. And he's in. Yeah, it looks like your input is still, it's not registering on the mic auxiliary audio mixer. Yeah, in OBS. Yeah, it's really strange, Blair, because I haven't modified any of my settings, and you know, you used to come in just fine. Uh, but oh well. Pat's come up with Miles. He's decided to grab the back right spider. He's just going to go ahead and castle up back on his side. Um, I can't say I blame him, but at the same time, like Cosmic Ghost Rider is still coming forward and basically doing whatever he wants this round. I don't know that even castling up backwards is going to do a lot of good, but at the same time, I mean, I guess you've got to give it an option. If I am Lukas, I'm more than likely I'm just going to take my opportunity to go up behind this Gamma Shelter and start establishing some midpoint of the board because he's got a parity lead on extracts, and now if he can force the action in the center of the board and get himself front stopped on that van, I would personally like to see it. But looks like he's going to take the more conservative route and stick in the back, knowing that he's already got a bit of a lead. I feel like I just would like to press the action there to press the scoring, being able to go up and have a 2-point advantage on round 1 potentially, or while forcing that Web Warrior team to come up and have to come to the center of the board to avoid that, I think would have been potentially pretty valuable. Looks like Pat's going to be measuring out with Ghost Spider. What I believe that we're going to see here is most likely you're going to see an impact web to get the power generated, and then we're going to try to pull him forward. I don't believe that there's anything that El Todorino can do about this. He's not going to have the power to, well, if he gets lucky and he's able to slippery to get some power generated. So Lukas blocks one, and it looks like Pat's rolled in for two, so he's going to take a damage. Going to opt not to try to push him at any sort of an angle backwards. He's going to spend that power that he's generated and pull him forward, and try to do so in a way that's going to keep him off of the middle point. Now, looking at things where they stand right now, that should put him within range of Moon Knight being able to walk forward and throw his stupid throwing crescents. Um, sorry, it's already leaked. I've told some of the Web Warriors players I'm not a big Moon Knight guy. I have already leaked my negativity upon him. I just don't get him. I do not get him. So let's see what Three Pete's got planned here. Um, I will be fully transparent saying that I need to actually take a look at his card to kind of figure out some things. Like I know this guy's a displacement king. If he's anything like his four threat version, which I feel like I wish he would have gotten a little bit more love, but here we are. So let's see. Got a gainer off of that. 5 die strikes, not bad for a 3 threat. Enemy character range 3, throw it S. Okay, so that's what Blair was talking about when you guys couldn't hear him, but he's got essentially the Doc Ock throw, which is a phenomenal throw. It is expensive though. Coming in at 3 and throwing a size 3 from range 3. 3 Pete living up to his name on that. All right, so Moon Knight rolled in his stuff. You got a 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at. It's gonna do a throwing crescent there. He's got a 1 hit. Uh, well, 2 extra dice on his next attack. Says Blair. No winging it there for the Toad. Did he? Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that is going to be a slippery time. Yeah, don't know what's going on there, Blair, but like the spot on OBS where it's like yeah, you got like the desktop audio, which is like the game audio, and then you got the I don't know, mic audio. Like yours just isn't registering. I can hear you perfectly fine on Discord. Okay, but like this was happening on your OBS too. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can get this fixed. Desktop audio, mic auxiliary audio. Yeah. Should I just add in like another mic auxiliary audio or another desktop audio? Let's just set this to default. Uh, all right, try again, Blair. One more time. No, you're still not showing up on any of these. Uh, All right. So we've got Goose. No, not Ghost Spider. Oh, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Into Gwen. So if anybody was wondering, we're now seeing that we're in fact in Miles' leadership. Here comes your winging it. That has just turned into 6 successes. That is going to kill somebody. And yeah, down goes Gwennifer. And that's, I think, is the correct target. She's so valuable. He's going to have priority going in around 2. I think she probably gets eliminated at that point. Continue sleuthing around on this audio stuff. As much as I like the sound of my own voice, I am not sure that I like it exclusively. Yeah, so I went in. So they're all on default, except I've got desktop audio 2 disabled. Yeah, I think we'll do that next.
People are having.
Say again, Blair.
It looks like that's the main issue. When people bring stuff up, is that's the number one issue. Normally, is that.
All right, looks like you're registering now. All right, thanks, Joe. All right, we are officially in business, Blair.
All right. Unfortunately, we missed the action of what CGR bowed Moon Knight.
He doesn't bow. He changes them.
I'm not sure what happened with.
Well,
I think he just.
Yeah, Ghost Spider got annihilated.
And then I think CGR just moved on his second action.
He got staggered for his trouble.
He sure did.
So I think he shot her a second action because she's got some damage on her, or power, I should say.
No, I think Pat R&D'd the power over to her.
I don't know. Why don't we just have the people in chat tell us what happened?
Yeah, what happened, people? I'm pretty sure he just moved him, which I don't really understand why he wouldn't shoot Moon Knight. Maybe he did and he whiffed, but it doesn't look like in the chat he rolled again. Or maybe, I don't know.
How much power is he on? Well, it didn't solve that either. Well, the deeper mysteries of the world are not a place for you and I to figure out, Blair. Moving forward, we got Star-Lord going into what appears to be Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Because of the incinerate. What am
Oh,
I
that was a
doing?
huge mistake from Lukas, and I think that shows his lack of experience with Guardians. He spent winging it when he didn't have any hits. He could have plucked first and then winged it.
I don't know if that's like huge.
I mean,
It is a mistake.
it's 4 rerolls compared to
Yeah.
0. I mean,
A poor man's Agamotto. It's like it's not. Star-Lord doesn't have the power of the Elder Gods. It's some sort of, I don't know, god of chance bum type god.
so getting the stagger on CGR around 1 is pretty huge because now.
Yeah, I still think CGR potentially takes out Ghost Spider, but
I mean, he'll have to one-shot her.
yeah, I think with Psychosis a winging it and potentially being able to incinerate her, looking at how much power he might have. I don't see that outside of the realm of possibility. Because he's going
Also,
to be starting out next round
sorry,
probably with 5 to 6 power.
I'm just now noticing Pat did not bring Brace. If Bill can get into that mix and throw that vendor shop into someone,
Yeah, I
this is
was
going to
hoping to
be.
see. He's going into Cosmic.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this might be a mistake if it puts a spender online and he's just able to just delete Ghost Spider that way.
Is this spectacular Spider-Man? This must be his impact weapon.
Oh, to try to push him around.
No, he's size 3, so I'm not really sure why he would opt to do that attack. Maybe he was outside of range.
By the way, Cosmic is blocking 4 only, so. Let me get this little finger out of the way.
Yeah, so he blocked it, but it's a gainer attack, so he got the 1 more power. He already had
How did he
2 from
push him?
He didn't. He had 2 power from R&D, so he spent his last power to throw him away.
To Spider Chuck him. Yeah, earlier on, I don't know if you're able to catch this, but I was wanting to see Bill just go up and set up shop in the center of the board. Just didn't see any reason why not to.
Yeah, that was a very conservative play to just leave him back there and forfeit the middle
Because
gamma.
it's created a 2-point swing just right
Yeah.
now.
Looks like Moon Knight's going to be just out of that middle one.
Try as you like, Pat. It looks like she is not. He is not in there. Trying to stretch out his range 2. Powers of Pat activate. Stretch range 2.
Let's try the other template.
Well, he's
Maybe
in if it's range 3.
Maybe my template got a little bit warped. Let's try yours.
Yeah. All right, so we ended up scoring an even 4 on that. Oh no. let's redrop the tokens. Did something get shifted around?
I'm not sure.
Because Moon Knight was moved in by Cosmic.
Yes, he got bowed, so that Pat did not place him 2.
Yeah, it's not like Pat was able to just be like, I know I'm within 2.
Yeah,
like
if Pat had placed him within 2,
this would be more sensible.
I think I would have given it to him as a judge. But since it's not showing up green, I think you got to say it's out.
And for yeah, and this is not an optional thing, so like he has to take the damage.
Okay, hold on.
So anybody that sees that in chat, they're asking for Blair to make a ruling. Reason why they're asking for Blair to do it, besides the fact that he's swell and smart and all those other things, is that because he's an accuser. So anybody not familiar with the TTS world, these are basically judges that have passed, tests and done all sorts of other things to demonstrate that they have the mental acuity and dominant authoritativeness to be able to tell other people what is up and amongst other things. I myself once took an accuser test. Um, I think I actually only did it because Blair did, and because he passed. Um, I won't name the guy, but he said it was too robotic, that I might not be able to have the sort of compassion or empathy needed uh, to be a quality accuser. Now, I am far more empathetic than Blair, uh, and probably just better at understanding the rules than him. I can say these things because he's not around right now. But yeah, so Blair's an accuser. I attempted to be out of trying to keep up with the Joneses and failed miserably. So, oh hey Dizzard, character judgment. Yes, I something that I lack entirely. Character. Well, I mean, I guess I have character. It's just not of high moral fiber. Yeah, you're right. It's the maw in me. I can't stop deceiving people. Ah, dude, it is too early for this stuff. Are you over on the East Coast now, Diz? Currently, okay. Oh, that's right. You're doing like the RV life thing. Um, not gonna lie, that's actually pretty freaking cool. Uh, well, for those of us not over on the East Coast, I think Blair and I might be in like the worst possible time zone for this, but I was summoned into this by a person in the finals. I don't know why people would assume that a guy who lives in Seattle, Washington, would be awake at like 3 o'clock in the morning, but they were right. So here we are casting a game at 05.
Um, so the range indicator is not showing up. So that was it was really close. If you as you could see, it looked like it was just out to me, but you could see like it's just really awkward because the edge of the template it's kind of like ribbed almost. It's like not straight, the shadow.
Yeah,
And you
because it's pixelated.
yeah, and so you can see one of the pixels was touching the token.
I usually
So
go with like multiple pixels having to do it, but you know,
yeah, so I just had him roll for it, and we the roll came up that he was out. So
I like that. Just leave it up to chance. Let the lesser elder god version of Star Lord's plucky attitude influence things. So one of the guys in chat is saying maybe you should try webs in the next tournament. Like, nah, bro, don't do that. You don't want to do that. No one should play Web Warriors.
oh fuck.
Oh, Blair's got a purple hand. And thanks to Blair, we are now R-rated. So
So that's why they reset. Did I say that already? That's why they brought the
yeah, you
extracts
did
back in.
you
Okay.
did say fuck. already. Didn't even make it a full hour. We are R-rated in here. This board game with plastic models isn't for kids anymore.
So Toad
Alright.
dazed in the power phase? He was not within range 2?
I don't know. You're the accuser. You tell me.
Yes, he took a damage from not being within the gamma shelter. So he flipped, and then looks like with his tongue, he was able to grab 2.
Can we just refer
Or
to
I
it as
think
his sensual device?
he grabbed the one he dropped, and then he Finder's Keepered one more off a bill, and then ran all the way. So that was his first. That was Luke's first activation of the round. And look at this. Pat is really looking to pick on him.
Well, as he
He's
should.
looking. He's looking to go after him with Ghost Spider here, and I think it really speaks to.
I was surprised. Oh, sorry. Yeah, finish.
I'm just saying it really speaks to. I think what Pat's looking. He's just going to look to try to control Ghost Rider, stagger him, and just try to weather his attacks, and then just try to focus on Rocket and Toad, and even on a low-scoring crisis such as this, still just kind of going to try to win out on points.
Well, and it's entirely possible to do because again, this round at most, Ghost Rider's dazing one model, and
unless he uses crew,
which I think there's a strong possibility for. But at the same time, that does leave, an opening for the all webbed up later in the game. I still think it's worth it to get Ghost Rider going, but I might have popped crew and just used him just to get rid of Gwen early. But I don't know. I'm a more aggressive player.
Yeah, the risky thing about running Ghost Spider up here is that, like, Bill and Star-Lord can easily just finish her off to leave Ghost Rider to daze Cat, and then Ghost Rider can KO Cat top around 3, so he doesn't have to worry about the stagger for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that would be big time. As a Guardian's main type of guy, and I kind of talked about this. I don't recall if you were on the cast by then, but bringing the naked Rocket into this, I just don't think that with all the movement that these Web Warriors have and some of the control that they do, that he's ever going to be safe if he intends to be anywhere near that back point even. And as it currently stands, Rocket has got 2 VPs on him, so it's a tremendous target on his back. And so I think absolutely, like, once you get rid of Toad, he's next to go.
Oh, I don't think Toad dazed from the Gam. I think he dazed from the cube. And so yeah, Rocket, okay. even with cover, that 2 HP, like, one of these webs could easily put him down, deny those 2 VPs.
And then, if you're the Guardians player, you're looking at a situation where you're probably scoring 2 to 3 points around moving forward and not able to keep up on the secures.
So we got a double web line from Ghost Spider here. Webline Toad, webline Star-Lord, now attacking Star-Lord. Got a good roll.
Star-Lord has rolled 3 hits. We should see a plucky attitude here. He's done it again. He's done it again.
Inexperience is showing for Lukas. And Pat played Guardians plenty. In his head, he's like, homeboy forgot. Plucky.
He has plucked up twice now.
You done plucked up real good.
You done plucked yourself, Lukas. I think it should be worth saying that out of all the people that I've interacted with in the MCP, these are 2 of the nicest guys. Like, I had
for sure
an opportunity to play Lukas a few weeks ago in an online kind of Mortal Kombat style team tournament, and just a super pleasant dude. He's like one of the nicest guys I've played against in a minute, and yeah, just really nice guy.
So look
And
at
then,
Pat now. He does the long move. He does the spider technique. Gives him a free advance long, and
yep,
is able to get all the way back, contesting the back, and
and
not
getting
even
away
in
from
line of
Ghost
sight.
Rider. Yeah. Yeah, she is just a monster. I think again, this is sort of like the game that we casted the other night. If she's allowed to exist into the middle rounds and beyond, she can have an impact upon games that is far, far above her threat level. And we've already seen that because she had a little bit of power this last turn. But being able to pull around two models and get that attack off and just opt to just skeet her off like that, it's phenomenal. We have Moon Knight getting. Okay, what
Looks like
now?
this is a lifesaver from Ghost Spider.
Oh, yep. So that
This is
is
he's
six
still in
dice.
range. It looks like a
Oh,
spender.
that's five
Yes,
dice. That's five
spender
dice.
from
That's
Star
Star
Lord.
Lord. That's not a spender. That was only. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So Moon Knight will block 2, but still take 4 in days.
Well, Moon Knight doing Moon Knight things. The Web Warriors are sworn enemies of foes, says Joe. I don't know about sworn enemies. I put spider foes on a pedestal above them.
So do you shoot Cat here? The concern is you power her up. Right now she's on 1 power. She can't move, stagger someone. If you give her extra power, she can.
Boy, staggering Bill is a feel bad thing, and it's almost worth it if she can end up in a situation where
Who's gonna
uh
do it? Wow. I would have shot Spectacular myself.
yeah. So that is what appears to be Stormbreaker.
No, this is Star Lord's builder. He's
Oh,
doing a hit and run. So Cat takes exactly 1. I mean, if you're Luke, if you're Pat, I think that's exactly what you wanted.
yeah, you don't hate it. And the reason that Blair is bringing that up is because Troublemaker only costs 2, and it's stupidly good. So,
I mean,
uh,
that's really what Cat. That's really like what she is. She's just like a
stagger
automatic
on a
staggering
stick.
machine. Yep.
Yep, stagger on a
That's
stick, just
that's
running
really what her
around.
role has become now after the errata.
I mean, it's not a bad spot to be because she's
No,
incredibly hard to
yeah,
spike out. Well, she can't be
very hard to
spiked
spike out.
out.
Yeah, you can't add or mod dice into her.
So if
She
you're
gets
coming at her with
rerolls under
4
miles.
dice, you cannot one shot her if she's on full health. It's
Yep.
impossible. Um, and that's something that I think as time goes on, I know a lot of times when a character gets errated or nerfed, right? Um, like that people tend to just want to stay away from them. But I think as more time goes on, like people are going to be a little bit more drawn to her, maybe than, or at least as much, if not more so than the past. And it's because of those defensive abilities that her defensive consistency is as good or better than any model in the game. And so when you have that, like I think it's just such an ace in the hole to just be able to tell yourself, well, I know my opponent's not going to get dazed by this model under any circumstances this round, so I'm free to do X.
Yeah, and she can still like have a pretty
Yeah, still,
insane pop off turn if she gets all the powers.
yeah.
Like she can still hop, stagger, steal, run, and then she's just even harder to take down. So she
The
can still do
only
all the things, just not as often.
the only question if you're Pat is if you just do the troublemaker, you know, what exactly do you do with her beyond that, right? And where does she go? And like, even if you get the trigger, because she's going to be on 0 power, and I think that's going to be potentially just inviting trouble from Bill if he gets staggered. If I'm a Bill user, I might just clear the stagger, or it could increase his likelihood of using crew, but at the same time, like, we might want to be banking on that for all webbed up. Um, because he just doesn't have a lot of models that are in a ton of danger because of the conservative play. But uh, just take that stagger, move up onto the middle point, and then throw a piece of terrain at her when she doesn't have anything brace wise. Well, she didn't even bring brace, so.
Yeah, didn't even bring brace. So he is gonna troublemaker Bill. I think the thought here was that he is concerned about crew. And I think it's gonna be an automatic crew play here from Lukas. He got 2 staggered models. I don't see why you wouldn't. I think Pat was contemplating a grappling hook.
Because Luke, not Luke, but Beta Ray Bill, like, I don't know what you're expecting him to do this round anyhow. I guess now that he's gonna get the aggressive, he can double attack.
He's going aggressive, and he's going to try to get to within range 2 of that vendor shop.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is.
Yeah, he's going to make that easily. Really cool distinction here from Schieck as far as like technical play, right? He's doing the pre-measure correctly, which is pretty cool. You're technically, not allowed to bring out, like any other range of tools once you've already kind of brought out the towards, the angled item. So what he's done there is he's kind of had to eyeball it a bit, but I'm pretty confident he'll have the angle. So now when he brings out the correct measurement tool, right, this is where you can't bring out like the range 2 piece.
So he was measuring a throw at spectacular. I don't know that I would do that. I think I would still throw it into cat. Because spectacular gets the rerolls on the dodge, and he's at full health. So you're probably not going to get him with this one throw.
The best way to kill cat is collision damage. It can still obliterate her. Something that might be worth considering too if you're Bill, and it could be the reason why he's taking the angle that he is that if you get off a strike attack and he happens to get that stun in there, and then you throw the terrain at her, that could be a very, very bad combination for Black Cat.
Yeah.
And it would be probably what I would do. I'd just go with the Stormbreaker attack, see what happens, right? And then throw the terrain at her. Now, what could very easily happen if he does go with that attack is that she just gets life-savered out of there.
That's true.
But she's not going to make it, out of the throw range.
Correct. She will not get out of the range of the throw because of that van is blocking her off.
Which, at that same time, like, I guess I wouldn't, if I'm, Lukas, and that power gets spent just for that, then, okay, fine, whatever, right? So
what
Pat
the hell
is
that was.
He still had his second action.
Oh,
Troublemaker, and then the honor bound from Bill.
Yep.
And so, yeah, she's just gonna opt not to stick around and just go ahead and say, "All right, go ahead and have the center of the board." Now, again, like, if Lukas had just set up shop there in round 1 with Bill, he's got cover. Like, he could have used Toad to backstop amongst all these other things, or he could have used Cosmic to backstop, or Star-Lord or Rocket. I think Rocket's like an excellent backstop candidate for that, but there just wouldn't be any way to where he's really getting pulled out of there,
Yeah, Bill is so tanky. He's got cover. He's got wing in it. Exactly. I don't think he needed to be that. I think that was too conservative a play. I don't think he needed to be that scared of this Web Warriors team of them putting him down.
I mean, sure, having him get moved around and all this other stuff, but if they're spending power to move around Bill, that means that they're controlling him and not controlling Ghost Rider. And if
Mhm.
they're controlling him, that means they're not pulling Toad in, and they're not pulling Star Lord or Rocket around. There's a lot of really vulnerable models that are out on this board for this Guardians team, and I think that if that's going to be the case, like you really need to try to leverage the strength that you have with the models that you have, and you need to play a little bit of bully ball with it. Um, I know a lot of times, people just love the eyes play and they love to just automatically back up, but there are times and places to where you probably should just stand your ground. I think that may have been one of the reasons I lost one of my league games this season, was because I just maybe played too passively with a Bill in round one against a Web Warriors team. I probably
So look,
should have
so
just
look at
sat in the
this.
middle.
Lucas is going to elect to not play crew. He's going to eat the double staggers. He's going to walk Bill onto the midline
Yep,
and
and just
probably going to
stand
see
there.
a van. Probably going to see the van get thrown to someone, I would bet.
I don't. If I'm Bill, I kind of want it. I'll just take the cover. Uh, because right now there's only Miles and Spectacular that can really come forward and do anything of any consequence. But yeah, it's gonna opt to throw the van because they wouldn't have had line of sight on Bill either, right? So there's
I think Spectacular might have, and Miles has his web swing, but he would have at least got cover against the Spectacular attacks.
see they don't really have anything to pull him in. They can just push him backwards up off of stuff. Well, maybe getting rid of it is the right thing. Did you throw that into Moon Knight? Or
Go, Ghost Spider.
yeah, he's really wanting to get rid of her. How sad would you be if Lucas later this round just decides to play crew to clear the stagger off of Ghost Rider and come forward?
I've I've seen worse plays, to be honest.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I have too. I've probably been guilty of them in many of my games.
And I
Maybe
mean,
not
it's just
with Guardians, but definitely with like other teams that I
the
just don't
thing
have as
about
much
this game
experience
is
with.
what part of what makes it such a cool game is like because of like the dice spikes, things happen that it's like you think, okay, I'm probably not going to do that, and then something happens and a new opportunity presents itself. It's like, well, shit. Now I think I kind of have to. So
You knock on a door and a window opens and it's like, oh,
yeah.
all right, yeah, let's go see what's going on over here.
So Pat's going to spend 2 powers Toad. He's going to Finders Keepers the cube off of whoever had it. I think it was Miles. Yeah. So Toad, both Toads doing Toad things, grabbing all the, grabbing all.
Just gobbling up fucking shit.
So with Lucas's Toad holding those two cubes, I mean, if you can just like throw him away, he would take 3 damage and then get KO'd during the power phase, and those things would scatter. You don't even need to deal a damage to him, and he's got Spectacular has his throw.
There we go.
Miles' throw off his builders a throw away.
Rocket's gonna come up.
Oh,
Um, looks like he's gonna take a pop into Gwen.
ooh. No winging it, though. Just 2. Probably won't do it. Nope. Pat with the reroll for leadership. Takes 1. Ghost Spider lives on 1.
I'm really. It's too bad he couldn't have got Rocket further along. There could have been some funny ways to just booby trap somebody to get a last little bit of damage on them. She is fallback. Is that right? Yep, looks like a fallback. Let's check the. No, what happened there? I want to say that was fallback.
It was.
Okay, I just didn't see any power being spent. Oh, there it is. Sorry, my eyes isn't so good right now from the whole entire. I don't even know what time it is. Like, I know we have some folks watching over from the UK and probably some Canadians in here because why not get a whole Commonwealth thing going on? But we're doing this crap here in the US called daylight savings time, and for the life of me, like I don't understand it. I think it was initially meant to be able to let farmers like get drunk in the middle of the day for longer periods of time. Uh, I, for the life of me, think that's all farmers in America might be capable of doing or should be doing, because all their shit's subsidized anyhow. So what does it matter? And then all of our crops come from elsewhere. But I digress. But yeah, it's some weird thing where like we have fallen back an hour. So uh, anymore, I just wait for my phone to like figure its life out, and then usually like around like 11 o'clock, when the phone tells me it's 11 o'clock, when the sun comes out, that's when I'll believe what is actually the correct time. That's how I handle it nowadays, at least. What about you, Blair? You got any opinions on daylight savings time?
Uh, no, I'm pretty indifferent to the whole thing.
Strong opinions as always.
So
All right,
Miles gonna walk
and
and
then
web line.
Webline, and you
Who are
should
we going
be
after?
kicking the shit
He
out of Rocket
he might go after Star Lord here to get him off the point.
off the back point. That would be yeah, that'd be fairly clever. Yep, 3 dice, looking like Star Lord. No wild.
Oof.
Star Lord
Nope,
is
went after
blocking the
Toad.
one. Oh, went after Toad, huh?
So didn't get the throw, but the one damage means Toad will get KO'd in the power phase. Or cleanup, doesn't really matter. Just cleanup. All damage to cleanup phase.
I'll damage you in cleanup phase.
So we finally get the CGR. Miles is in range for the bow. That's pretty tempting. I'd say why not? Bow him, incinerate him, attack him. Probably pretty good chance to get him with winging it and psychosis.
You thinking that she just goes into Gwen?
No, I think he bows in Miles here and just does a Hellfire Blasters into him.
Well, get him off the point.
Get him off the point and a good chance to get him. I would think he's only going to have 2 defense dice. He's got winging it.
Likely gonna block 2. 6 counting skulls. I think you could be looking at probably 5 successes off the initial roll, so it could be hitting for 6. Blocking 2, 4, yeah. I think it is fairly likely that he takes him out in the one shot. It's probably a good chance of averaging 4 damage.
But even if he doesn't, he would die to the gamma, so it'd really be kind of the same anyway. All you really got to do is deal 3. I would not place myself. I would just bow him.
Well, he's not within range 3.
Oh, I thought the bow was from range 4.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, the attack is range 4. Gotcha.
Um,
I think just the place 1 would get him
I
close
was gonna
enough.
say the place 1 might be enough, but um, is he listening to me?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely close enough.
Yeah. Okay. He brought out the second. Got old Lucas over there. He's got the stream playing in the other ear. No, I think once he brings out the range 3 and takes a look at that like he did, it's pretty obvious that he's there. Now, did he land on Toad's base a bit? Nope. Boy, he could have potentially hosed himself if he
Hmm.
didn't pay,
Yeah.
because he did that kind of nonchalantly.
Hmm.
And I mean, technically, if he lands on Toad's base, he'd have to back him up.
Hmm.
Uh, and Pat could play it like that,
I
but
think
looks like
that's
he
gonna
cleared it.
take Miles out of range too. I think. So Miles.
Two of the it's not gonna matter. He's already hit for 5 successes. Got to crit the roll in. So 5 successes there. Miles gonna block 2. He's gonna take 3. It doesn't matter. He didn't even need to use the winging it. Hitting for 6. Miles dead. Yeah, once he rolled the well, I guess like he did need the winging it. Never mind. Excuse me. Needed to get the 4. Um, but yeah, that's why I don't think clearing the stagger there is the end of the world.
Now you've got some choices here with spectacular. His his one gainer attack has a trigger that on a wild hit gives him an advance S. He could just double attack into Bill,
Yeah, and hope for the
try
trigger.
to try to get the trigger, and then just throw
Yeah,
CGR away again,
or throw Bill off the point,
or throw Bill off the point.
or throw Star Lord off the point. Like, uh, oh, he's just gonna opt to throw Bill immediately into Miles's corpse.
What? He doesn't have the power to do that. How do you do that?
Cosmic Ghost Rider, Miles, sacrifice.
I have no idea what just happened there. Oh, I think CGR bowed Bill.
Bill. Okay. Why?
Not sure.
Well, I mean, he's off the point now, so I guess
Don't
if
need to
you're
throw him.
don't need to throw him.
Just go after Star-Lord. Here we go.
Just go ahead and hit him, and then.
All right, you just made my decision easy. Thank you.
I guess Lucas has just been allergic to scoring that middle point with Bill. I can understand, because I guess from his point of view, it's like, my Bill's not going to get double tapped now, and if he does get double tapped, he's going to get thrown off the point anyways, right? On the flip side of that, you're wasting 2 of CGR's power, so that is 4 power spent off of CGR that round just to move Miles and to move Bill. And he has left him on one, or excuse me, where is he at? Oh, toxic Ghost Rider. Okay, good. So he's left him on 2 power, which is kind of the magic number of where you at least at a minimum want to leave him. But if he leaves him on 4, having that spender online next turn to basically delete a model, I think would have been a lot more valuable, because Miles is already within range for that. And Miles gets no tech against Mystic.
Yeah, none of these guys do apart from the leadership.
Yeah, so, I mean, how
I
valuable would
guess.
it have been to just take out Miles next turn?
Well, Moon Knight has this Chosen of Khonshu thing, I guess, but
And nobody give a shit about Moon Knight.
Nobody knows.
I'm
Okay,
just
what is this?
grateful
You
that
got
there isn't a Wong out here.
this is this. He attacked Star Lord, gonna sack it and do CGR, and that's a blank out from Spectacular. This is twice now that Pat has done the impact webbing instead of the swing strike. I think the reason for it is he's just trying to generate power, and he doesn't even want to power up Ghost Rider. He just wants to
Well-
try to keep him low to try to give him a chance to lose this psychosis.
Well, with him being on 1 power, there is a greater than 50% possibility that happens. So
That would be huge for Pat.
Well, I shouldn't say
he only
greater.
gets-
It's about 50-50 next round. And I can tell you that if you leave Cosmic Ghost Rider on this 1 power, the reason why you want to avoid that is because there's almost like nothing worse than having this 6-threat character that now only has 4 power, doesn't generate power for shit like once he's in the middle of his turn, or in the middle of the round, and has literally no other real tech or anything. You know, and it's just like almost like you don't want to spend his power to do anything. So you're gonna have to see Cosmic Ghost Rider kind of get his slot machine on, and we'll see what happens. But so far, he's actually rolled pretty decently, especially with the opening round being with the 4 successes. That's only an 18% chance to get those 4 successes, and so he's going to need to do 3 or better. And 3 or better is, roughly 50%.
It
If
looks
you
like
leave him on
Pat
the 2, you've got significantly better chance of getting
doing the
what you
Sonic the
need.
Hedgehog thing with Toad. Just going to spread him out. And both players are going to be at 8. So probably going to be 2 more rounds. Even though there are 8 or more points available to be scored, I don't think it's going to happen. So probably going to go to at least around 4. Ghost Spider on 1 life for Pat. 1 life remaining. Everyone has been dazed except for Toad on his
Ghost
side.
Rider just fucking blanked on his 1 power for Ghost Rider.
Well, that's what Pat needed.
Plot armor Pat doing his thing.
Well, that bow from Bill, I think Lukas is going to look back and think
the bow from Bill or the sacrifice.
Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah,
because he was already on 2. It wouldn't have saved him from that horrid roll, but at the same time, like, so there are a number of people that I'm one of the people that's down on Cosmic Ghost Rider and Guardians, right? But there are a number of people that swear by it, and I think some of the consensus things that you need to do is you need to bring some tactics cards to help him out. Stuff like no matter the cost, or even like sometimes like a deception. You bring a Mystique around, or if you have a Thanos in your list, things that can help him save power, so he doesn't have to move around or do some of the other things, and it makes him just a little bit more consistent in Guardians. That's just not been the case in this game, and so you're seeing kind of a worst case scenario come to fruition here if you're a Guardian CGR player, in that you're now starting out a round with 3 power and no psychosis token. You become one of the most irrelevant 6 threats in the game. I mean, sure, he can go up and sit on a point, but
the scoring I think is irrelevant though. I mean, with Toad gone now, it's like you're not going to outscore these webs down the stretch. Like you have to remove these guys.
Well, they're just gonna take Rocket out next.
Deny their scoring. Yeah, they're gonna take out Rocket. They got a good chance to daze Star-Lord. So now you've got like 2 models that can score at that point, compared to Pat, who still has all 6 of his out there.
Really tough decision on who to activate here for Lukas. I don't blame him for him taking his time, because Cosmic Ghost Rider, he just isn't it. Where normally you could think about him being the guy, he just really isn't. Because, I mean, sure, you could try to double tap Miles,
I think you gotta get Miles here because otherwise I think he's just grab those 2 fragments and then just bug out. He's gonna go after him with Rocket.
I believe it's called arachnid out. It's our preferred pronoun. They're not bugs, Blair.
Sorry, he does have 6 legs. Well, that ain't gonna do it, Rocket.
They have 8 legs, Blair.
Oh, 8 legs. This is why I failed biology when I was in sophomore year.
This is why you're a spider foe. Always underestimating them.
Well,
so
that ain't
the
gonna
roll
do it,
in,
Rocket.
No, it's not. I personally, I mean, you're looking at all the rerolls possible for Miles there.
He's gonna spender him, but even this, I don't think is
with 5 left. I don't think it's it. I don't think it's gonna do it.
Nope. Even with a blank out for Miles, ain't gonna matter.
So winging it's coming in. This could salvage a bunch for him, but it didn't. So that's only going to do 3 damage. You got the singular reroll for the leadership. So Miles has completely blanked out. But if you're Pat, I probably don't hate that because now I just have a bunch of power. It's just going to make me better at running. Spectacular Spider-Man is going to get the Vortex trigger. But yeah, Miles just being able to walk over there and hoover. I think what he does is he could just web line in and then go near that back one, take a medium move, and get the one that's near Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then take another medium move and probably get on the backside of this vendor shop. You see what I'm saying, Blair?
Mm-hmm.
That to me feels like the order of operation, and then if he can just sit out there for the rest of the round, score those points, and then just daze or force Bill to come after him.
Well, CGR could probably still get him at that point. Although
he wouldn't have line of sight if he's on the backside of that.
Well, he could teleport, but the thing is,
yeah, but if you teleport CGR, it's gonna probably have to spend 2 for it, and that's gonna leave him on 1 power again, and then it's gonna be 6 on Miles with no mods. I mean, he's got a winging it token, but that's about it.
Here's the thing. That's probably not even going to happen because if Ghost Rider comes after him, I think Pat's just playing Web Tracker or Spider Tracker and just getting out again.
Skeetering off onto the other side of the... Yeah, so... Well, you could reach him with a range 4 attack. No, because Miles would have stealth.
Yep.
So yeah, I like that play. Let's see if Pat executes it. I can't stress enough like how weird it is to see Pat playing Web Warriors, and then for 2.
It is, and especially playing it into Lukas, who is just known as like the kaiju attrition guy.
Yeah. I mean, and he brought the right game plan. If there's ever been a model that you want to go like wide against, because he can only do so much, this is the guy.
Yeah.
There's certainly been a comeback of these kind of like wide teams again, which is
it's
really refreshing. I think after the errata, a lot of stuff, there's a really good balance, I think, between the running of tall lists and wide lists right now.
I think looking back, like I don't think you look at this and think it's not a big thing. Pat doing the 2 impact webbings into CGR, effectively just like hoping to not damage him, just getting the power. That like potentially made the difference between CGR getting denied the psychosis here. I think that's a big brain move that I think a lot of players wouldn't have done.
Honestly, there have been times where I've used winging it to like just try to chase a wild trigger and then like forcefully not do damage. Like there have been times too where I've used a winging it and I've wanted a character to die, right? And I've intentionally ruined their defense, like just to set up like the stealing of priority or something.
Ooh, so Miles is gonna spend 3. Is he gonna spend her into a Rocket?
Oh, that would be yeah, because he could spend her into rocket, get that thing dropped. Nope, there's a web line.
No, he spent 3.
Oh,
Oh,
all
all
webbed
webbed
up.
up. Oh, he got them
Uh,
all. Oh my god, dude.
so this will be your crew of the Milano turn, and that's even more of a bummer for Cosmic Ghost Rider because of the power that's going to have to be spent. Oh boy.
And now a spender and a rocket. Well, that will
Oh
certainly
well,
get him.
yeah. You hate to see those rolls wasted on the rat, but as a Rocket Raccoon stan, I am all for it. Kick him into Bill and make him roll, for God's sakes. Like, see if he can block that 2 incoming damage.
And because Rocket did the spender, he's only got the 1 power. He doesn't have power for mission objective.
Yeah, the spender into Miles, like you had identified and I had agreed with you that it's not going to get him, right?
Oh,
So
that wasn't Miles' spender. That was so. How much?
that was a webline kick.
Okay, I don't think he spent for it. He spent 3 for all webbed up.
Why is all this negative power on a Ghost Rider? Why is Ghost Rider on 0 power now? I am so confused. Oh, it's the got your back from Ghost Rider. I guess that's a desperation play if you're Lukas. But did he? Yeah, he could reach him. It's got range. So yeah, this is the cosmic back getting. Oh goodness, Miles just died.
Okay,
Oh
didn't matter because Miles blanked out anyway. So
yeah, yeah. Still, Cosmic Ghost Rider though. I mean, what is he gonna do this round? Like, I guess attack twice into a three-peat.
so
Good for Cosmic.
why did CGR spend 3 power
He
there?
did got your back.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
So
Cosmic
yeah, so now
back
he's
getting
got like
1 power, and he's still,
yeah.
he might need to still want to clear that slow. Otherwise, I could see a world where they could just opt to daze him to just prevent him from being able to score, but that might not be in the cards for these Web Warrior team. If I'm Lukas, I boy, this is really tough because this is the turn where like Moon Knight is just deadly, and
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't use crew to clear that slow right now,
Mm-hmm.
or do something to stop Moon Knight, you're going to be looking at Moon Knight throwing probably 24 dice into Bill, maybe more. So, uh, and Bill is out of the range from being able to summon the storm into Moon Knight, so he can't really stop him. Uh, if you're Bill, you could walk up, throw Moon Knight away, and then move back, but you'd still be having to weather a lot of potential incoming attacks from other people, but it would completely mess with Moon Knight. To where Moon Knight would only get off maybe 1 throwing crescent attack into Bill, maybe 0. So walk up to within range 2, throw him off into the void, and then just, back up and play crew. Or there is a world, yeah, I think he's starting to identify it, where if Bill places a range 1 off of that back uh, cube fragment that is nearest to those cars, he might be able to grab both simultaneously.
I think there's a very good chance he gets them. And I mean Like, why not? I mean, I guess maybe Moon Knight might still be able to put him down. You have to spend 2 power to pick them both up, but you
Well,
put
and
3 in
he'd
Bill's
still
hand.
have to.
He's going after Spectacular. He's going to throw and bash. Looks like.
Yep. So the size 4 into Spectacular. I mean, if this is the case, I think Moon Knight just obliterates Bill now.
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah, everybody wakes up all early around here. We got even old Chewy going on. Got a whole crew going all around up in this mess. What's going on, y'all?
So looks like Pat thought about a Spire Tractor, opted not to. Just gonna let Spectacular take it.
Yeah, take that medicine.
Oh, and I don't. Spectacular still is healthy. Sorry, I said earlier everyone had been dazed.
No, just Gwen and Miles up to this point.
Yes, and Moon Knight.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he blanked out on his crap
So
last round.
Spectacular only blocked the 1. Jeez.
I think if he would have taken a different angle onto that, he might have been able to get both of them.
So he'll get dazed. So Bill doesn't even need to attack him again. That's more bad luck for Pat. I think Spectacular usually will block 2 there. What's going on here?
Yep, because he's slowed. He didn't clear it yet.
Oh, he made a move. You're correct. That's
Yep.
it. Is he gonna get out of the wrath of Moon Knight?
Well, sure, yeah. I mean, if he's just gonna, get that sort of a roll or that sort of a dodge roll out of Spectacular, may as well. I mean, why not just play crew? But yeah, here he comes immediately for the violence.
He didn't roll with Moon Knight?
He did not.
Is that a must? It is. Now he's rolling.
That's not how that works, Patrick.
Got a hit. So he gets 2 extra dice.
All right, so 8 dice. It's going to be a waste of a throwing crescent, methinks, because he's not going to be able to do it again. 5, blocking 1. And down goes Star-Lord. So no rapid fire because it needs to go into the same target. So either way, I think Pat's plan of just taking out the ancillary characters around like the 2 tough guys.
Yep.
He, if nothing else, has remained committed. The biggest thing that I'm seeing right now that is a big deal to me is that Gwen is still standing.
Yeah.
And so...
And all powered up.
And all powered up. So Bill's not scoring that back point. Like, let's be clear about that. So
So Pat's effectively scoring 1 point at the right now, or Lukas is currently effectively scoring 1 point currently.
Yeah, and using Cosmic to grab. Okay, so Lukas is passed. You fucking toad.
Pass, run.
Yeah.
High level MCP.
Well, I mean, it is.
It is.
There's no need for him to sit around. And honestly, he's keeping them around somewhat close enough to where Ghost Spider can. Some people will make the mistake of going too far into the corner, if that's really a thing with Toad, because, I mean, believe it or not, it actually is. But, yeah, like, what do we got here? Oh, he's taking a look at, kind of does it in reverse. Saving up Cat, looks like. If this is me, I'm just pulling Bill off of the point. Um, and then running back. Like, because if Cosmic Ghost Rider comes anywhere within range of Ghost Spider, right? Then, well, can't really Spider Track her. She needs to stay within 2 of that back Gamma point. And I'm still kind of weirded out that we haven't seen Crew yet.
Okay, she's going with Cat. He's gonna back her up, and that's it.
Lifesaver range is
Moon
a
Knight is in
thing.
Lifesaver. Yep, Lifesaver online. What you gonna do? CGR? Not much.
Oh, he's gonna spend the 1 to.
I think that's a mistake.
I do too, because he's gonna at max. He's gonna only end up this round with. I mean, because he's gonna lifesaver him out of there, and with his stealth,
Yeah, he's 100% lifesaver.
he's only gonna get 1 power. So yeah, save the power. Make sure you end the round on 2. Just get up on the point with Ghost Rider. Take your short move, and now Ghost Spider's just gonna pull both of them off. But at the same time, like he needs to make sure that he ends this round on 2 power minimum with Cosmic.
Man, Ghost Spider's webline is also size unrestricted, so she can.
She's so good.
She can displace them both. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's going to.
Lucas is. He's probably going to score the 1 point here.
Yeah.
So. Pat will probably again score 4. At minimum, he'll score 3. And then he'll just have to get 4 or 5 next round. And he's got all his models except for Miles to do it.
Can we give a shout out to like whoever did the card art for like that all webbed up with the web snot rocket? it's fucking classy.
So CGR short move.
Yeah. Which I think is the correct thing to do. Just shoot Moon Knight, get your power. Like, just get on 2 power. If he ends the round on 2 power, you're feeling good going into next round. And at least you're going to force Gwen to kind of pull him around. No, don't hop. Please don't do that.
Yeah, I think just declare the attack in Moon Knight, just see what happens, and then...
I paid the 1 to hop.
I don't think that was really necessary. I think you could have shot him, but...
Yeah, because now, again, he's only ending the round on 1 power. Now, maybe that's intentional, but I think you kind of need to kick the attrition into high gear before your other weaker models get taken out, and they're able to just score out.
Yeah.
He's getting bailed out by a massive...
well, he would have got her anyway. She's on 1 life.
Well, he could have Spider Trackered her.
You know what?
No, he couldn't. He couldn't because it's not a movement action. Yeah, the placement's not a movement action, so you can't Spider Tracker it.
Yep.
Well, fair enough.
So Pat's gonna score 3.
Yeah, to 1.
And no, Lucas will score 3.
Oh, that's right, because no Gwen.
Not get to activate.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe not the worst play after all, huh? Yeah. You know,
Pat has
that was a 6-on-3 with 1 reroll. Toad is now dazed.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So Toad will just hoover them some bitches back up. I mean, you can put him wherever you want, Lucas.
You can put him wherever you want. It ain't gonna matter.
Yeah, he's pretty much like the exact opposite of like a character that I would really like in this game, except for like he does have movement abilities and he's got all this other stuff, but he's such a weaselly piece of crap. Like you'd think that I would hate him, but he is such a weaselly piece of crap that it's almost endearing. He's so greasy and awful looking and just awful operating. He's such a slime bag that I kind of love him. And
right.
he's just not my guy.
Can CGR get the 3? He does. He gets exactly 3. And Lukas has held on to all web. He's held on to crew through all of this.
For some reason or another. But
who you going after here? Gotta figure it's. I guess he's got a lot of ways to go. I mean, Moon Knight's powered up.
I think you're gonna see a stagger from Cat, maybe. I mean, this could be a good reason to have saved crew for all this, but Moon Knight's no longer posing much of a threat. He's got oodles of power. Yeah, so that little end of round thing by Lukas, though, I revisiting that and realizing how Spider Tracker works, and he's able to get on the point. I can dig it. I am more on board with it than I initially realized. Quick look up at the clock situation. Both guys sitting really good for this this point of the game. These guys are both extraordinarily accomplished and competent players, so I'm confident that if they needed to pick up the speed on things, that they'd be able to. I don't think the clocks are going to be a factor in this game regardless. This is probably close to the last round. And we're kind of running out of some models on Pat's side of the board. So he's going to be a little bit quicker. So Spectacular Spider-Man opting to go for points.
Interesting.
He's going to get the 2 out of Toad. Cat, meanwhile, sitting in the back. She's healthy.
So he walked.
Yep. Picked up the fragment.
He's going to throw Bill away.
Does he have... where's his power level at? He's got plenty of power for a Spender and a Star-Lord. Does that have any... So, Webhead Wallop.
It's got like a little terrain throw attached to it if you hit the trigger.
It's a size 2 terrain throw, and he is next to a...
He's got... Lukas still has brace, so the Spender probably won't get him, so it looks like he's just going to run behind this car. I don't know about this line. I mean...
Star-Lord is going to have the ability to full auto him. And
it's just that you need 5 more points to score out. You've got 3 cubes.
Well, he's still got a web line that he can pull up after this to even skeeter out of there even more. But sorry, you were saying?
Well, he's got the 2 cubes, but I mean...
Yeah, I mean, that's 4 cubes to the 1.
He probably will skeeter even towards the corner, yeah. Yeah.
All right, there's some traditional Web Warrior play for you.
Okay, so now what are you doing if you're Lukas? So I didn't see that other cube over there. So now that I see that he's got 2 in hand, I like that a lot more. I didn't think the 1 was going to be worth it.
Yeah.
But
Cosmic needing to get rid of Black Cat, methinks. I would be fairly confident in Moon Knight's ability to get rid of Rocket. So with that being said, he's going to have to get rid of Moon Knight, probably with Star-Lord, so you'd see I wonder if he's within range 3 to get off an attack into him.
I think it's more important he gets Moon Knight and not Cat here. Because
Yeah, I
like,
agree because Moon Knight is the one that's going to be potentially doing the scoring, and he's going to be able to get Cat anytime he wants with Cosmic.
and Cat,
Because
like you're not scared of losing Rocket or Star Lord to Cat, whereas Moon Knight could totally
exactly.
take one of
Well,
them.
yep, exactly. So I think if it's me, I'm probably activating Rocket here into Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get off the activation while you still got him,
Yep, exactly.
because you ain't gonna have him for long.
No, because Moon Knight will kill him. I mean, the throwing crescents alone
Yeah,
are going to be a
the problem.
problem, but
Yeah, and Rocket could get him here with winging it.
Rocket does not. Yeah, he does have a winging it token. Avatar of Khonshu, it's called character places within. Yeah, so that could open up a lot of things for him. That Avatar of Khonshu attack. Of course, target size 2 or less. Before damage is dealt, it's a push. But after the attack is resolved, it's a place. So if he one-shots Rocket, then he's not going to be able to get anywhere off of him. If he doesn't, I think that's what opens up some other things. But yeah, I think my activation here is Rocket. He's got all game or all the rest of this round to get into Black Cat. If you can get rid of Moon Knight, that would just be massive for what he needs to be doing from a secure standpoint. Um, with Star Lord, I'm pretty confident that he's going to be able to do a medium move and then full auto hit and run back onto the point
Into spectacular.
into spectacular. And while I
Yeah,
don't think that'll kill him, I
probably
do
not.
think that it'll probably get 2 to 3 damage on him,
And that's really all you
and
need.
that'll be all you need with the gamma damage plus the
All you
cube
got,
damage.
all you got to do is do 2 damage.
And so if I'm Lukas, obviously that would be a big amount of scoring for Pat, but I think if he's able to win the secures, his home point and the middle point,
Oh, he's going with Ghost Rider. No,
he can,
I think
activate Star Lord late. But if he goes with
I
Ghost
don't.
Rider,
I don't get this.
or did he pass?
He's going with Ghost Rider. Bowed Cat.
Oh, yeah. I
I
mean,
think he's hoping maybe he can one shot both these models, but I'd say it's
Pat is going to
unlikely.
be is hard. She's going to be hard.
Okay, well that'll work. That'll work. There's
Well,
your first one shot.
4, and she whiffed.
And he's still got winging it to go into Moon Knight. Gonna bow Moon Knight.
Rocket, no power for booby traps. So yeah, hitting for 5 onto her. I mean, if he hits for like 4 or less, because he can't modify anything. I mean,
Mm-hmm. It's true.
if he hits for 4 or less on her, because she had
Yep.
5 health left. I mean, that was a tremendous gamble on his part.
She had 4 health. She'd taken 1 damage.
Yeah, 4 health left is sorry, but
yeah,
that was a tremendous gamble because
yes.
no crits exploding, no dice mods. You're looking at a situation where he has to get like a minimum of 4 successes, and she has to blank out. 3 crits into Moon Knight. He's fucking probably dead, and he's blanked out as well. So yep, that's 5, 6 into Moon Knight, and he blanked out too.
So it was about dude. It was only about 26% chance to one shot
Moon Knight.
Black Cat there.
I would imagine Moon Knight is
It doesn't need to spend wing in it. Yeah, I think if Cat had lived there on 1, it would have put Lukas in a really difficult position then.
yeah, at 26% shot. I mean, he could have just done that at any time in the round, though. Is really the point, right? There was
that
no
is the point.
need.
Exactly. There's no need to do that. Just save it.
Yeah. It's not like Moon Knight is taking out Cosmic, right? At least I don't think so. And if he doesn't get Cat in that first shot, you know, old slot machine Ghost Rider doing his thing. He is definitely establishing himself as the big dog on the board, which is something that you like to see out of a 6 threat in a game where your opponent's not bringing anything above a 3 threat. Um, at the same time, he's gone about it in a bit of a roundabout way. Last round ending notwithstanding, that was a good finish to that. Um, but that, I mean, he's going to get the rocket activation now, so
So I believe Pat has passed.
yeah.
I think the play here is you just double move Rocket and grab that cube fragment down there.
He's just going to try to shoot Toad?
You don't need to shoot him. If you grab the fragment,
Yep, that'll...
then you've got 2 in hand. You can't score out from that point.
Well, I guess he could always kill Rocket.
If he one shot, we wouldn't need a one shot. I guess you're right. He could get him in 2 attacks, but then he's not getting onto the gamma, so he's only scoring 4. Then he'd have to one shot Rocket, which with winging it and cover, he probably won't.
Yeah. So a lot of times if you end up in these situations where you're not exactly sure what to do as a player, you do the thing that seems like the most obvious player, the play that has to happen at some point during the round. And you can see that Lukas is already kind of measuring it out. And that play is the play into Miles. This is the one that has to happen. So he's able to leave his options open in some of the other ways. So he could go with Bill, but this is just something that has to happen. Star-Lord's in no danger. So you might as well just do this. Now,
yeah, I think it was clear slow with Bill and walk onto the home point.
well, I mean, I don't even know if you need to do that.
What would you do?
I mean, I guess you could, but
Well, this way you
he could
save
also
Star-Lord.
he could also crew it and then double move with Bill onto the middle point and then let Rocket move onto the back point. And then put Rocket on this other side of this car so that maybe there's limited chance at line of sight from
you have to leave
Toad.
Rocket there to threaten Toad, because if Toad grabs these 2 and lives on his back point, he scores
Yeah, you
out
just
and wins
save
the
Rocket
game.
for the lax activation. Does he score out? Well, I mean, if nothing, we know that. Oh, why not just shoot?
I think he's seeing, can Star-Lord double move and get on to Pat's home point? And I think he can. It's real close.
Yeah, he should be fine. Star-Lord is injured though, so it's...
Yeah, but so is Toad.
Yeah,
Pat's
so he could
Toad.
just bring up a Rocket. Yeah, he's good.
Oh, it's not lighting up. Oh, I don't think he gets there.
Oh my god. Oh my. You might get called in for this one too, Blair.
I think they're just gonna let it go.
Oh my.
So Pat passes again. Rocket now will just double move onto the back line.
How close has that got to be for Star-Lord? So he's going to use Star-Lord as a backstop.
Dude, so this is crazy.
Agonizingly close.
What if Toad just grabs these 2 and then runs into the corner?
Yeah, he's got 2 health left. So that'd be 4 for Pat. You're looking at 2 there for Lukas off the back point, and then Bill's got 2. They'd score equally.
All right, so I guess you couldn't win then, because then
No.
the home game accounts for 2. Yeah, couldn't do that.
What Toad can do is that he can pick up both of those and move on to the middle point.
Dude, this.
So that,
Move, hop.
yep.
Dude. Oh.
Yep. Hoover that one. Hoover that one.
I don't think you can do that because Bill's just going to walk and throw him if he does that. I think you got to hop, walk, attack Rocket, and try to get the push. I think that's your only path to victory here. If you don't move on to the middle, Bill will just double walk and throw you off of it.
Fair. So yeah, it's going to come down to that push, or just killing Rocket. He's not going to get the angle to push him off though with Star-Lord.
Bill only has 2 power. So he'd have to walk, attack him, try to, and he's slowed.
Well,
so you have to spend one for crew.
The one off a crew. Yeah. And then he'd need to get damage onto Toad.
But the thing is, if he gets to the middle, that doesn't matter though, because Bill can just walk and contest it and deny him the point. So yeah, he has to move and try to push Rocket. But the way that Rocket is like backstopped into Star-Lord,
if Star-Lord just made it onto that point though,
like I don't know if he has the angle here to push him.
I don't think so either. He's trying to get him to the outside as much as possible.
He might actually. I think he does have the angle just barely. So this is a 4 dice attack with the wild.
I mean, if he just kills him, then it'll all be for nothing anyhow, right?
Yeah, but I think the 5 dice, it's way better chances to try to just hope for the wilds.
The wild on the 4 dice there, that's about like what, 46%?
About. So it's definitely less than 46 to try to kill a Rocket on a 5 dice attack here.
Mm-hmm. Still haven't seen Galaxy's Greatest played either. It's been a good round for it. I'm surprised you didn't just try to pop into
He's got the angle.
Yeah, he does. There it is.
Wow.
Let's see if Wild Man Pat, he's putting some voodoo hexes on his dice.
Oh, I didn't get it. Damn, dude.
And block it, Raccoon will block it.
Just the fact that Lukas gave him that opening there, that was... Lukas gave him the window. I don't think he executed this last round as best as he could have.
Wonder about the play of yep, still short, buddy. Putting that damage into Amazing Spider-Man and just playing for next round. Not Amazing Spider-Man, but Spectacular Spider-Man. You just take him off the table, and now you're looking at, how does this, the Dunford Web Warriors team really do anything with just Toad and Cat?
Well, the concern is that you can't let him score the 5 here. So he's got the 4 stretch.
Yeah, if we save the Cosmic Ghost Rider to protect the back point,
Yep.
And I don't see a world where, because he still has crew, like. I mean, it's going to take a tremendous amount of luck here for Pat to pull off something next round.
Fear says, how hilarious would it have been if Toad had just one-shot Rocket there, but then CGR got your backs and kills him?
That would have been like the most Toad thing ever, and then like the most like Cosmic Ghost Rider thing ever. I mean, Cosmic dunking on Miles early this round, not this round, but the other round was. I mean, that felt like a desperation play for Lukas, and I think he needed to get like 3 or 4 damage onto Miles, and definitely did it.
CGR gets 1 on the power up. Oh, that's all he needed. He was on 4.
Yeah, he left himself on a good amount.
Okay. Now, do you activate CGR here to get Toad? I think it's got to be Star-Lord. Oh, but dude, so okay, so how does Cat Burglar work now? Is it still just the one? It's just 1.
Yeah.
And it's an action. So you can only steal. Oh, Pat has Prio?
Yep. And now we're gonna see a hop. Toad. Such a Weasley piece of trash.
I don't think it's gonna matter, but
I mean, yeah, he only needs 1 point, and those over there, those points are off the table. They are not coming back to allow Lukas an opportunity to close the gap.
you don't go with CGR here. Try to get Cat out of there. So that there's no reason to go with CGR here. You try to get
There
Cat.
really isn't. You just wait till and choose which one of the you want to get rid of.
Like I go with Star-Lord here and try to
Because he's going to get 6. He's going to get 6 points from the secure, or 5 points from the secure, and then 1. Yeah, 4.
No.
So it'd be 5.
Gamma score is 112, so he gets 4 from the secure.
Yeah,
and then
one
more
from the extract, so it'd be 5.
He'll get 5.
And then Paddle score 4. So yeah, he needs to get somebody to drop something.
Yeah, he has to get Toad here. He cannot.
What do you mean has to get Toad here? Toad's the one over in the corner you told him not to go for.
I'm saying activate Star-Lord, attack Cat. Try to get a bleed or a slow or a stun. Just bleed or slow would be ideal.
Well, because one of the things that could happen if he doesn't get Cat is that she could just run over, get within 1 of Bill, Cat Burglar, and then do a range 2 place away from him because he's only on 3 power.
Yeah, she can long move, steal it, stagger him with a Troublemaker.
Still has a crew.
And then would still have the 2 for the grappling. And that's not even counting if he gets the wild.
Oh, yeah, if he gets the wild, that'd be...
So you can...
That's a really interesting line of play right there.
So, like, you got to go with Star-Lord here to try to, like, bleed and slow her.
So, -2 off of Star-Lord. And you're seeing Galaxy's Greatest getting played onto Star-Lord.
Okay, I like that.
I probably would have just opted for the double full auto, to be honest with you. But...
No, I like the hit and run. You gotta move him onto the middle point.
Fair. So let's see.
Pat's like blank out 1 time. Oh god!
Hitting for 5. Don't explode that crit. That don't count. Yep, he's identified that. So blocking 2 takes 3.
Lost his leadership, so yeah, we'll take 3.
No, that's 3 because that wild doesn't count. Pat has taken additional damage.
Is it gonna matter? No.
No, because Star-Lord is molten lava hot. So wouldn't have mattered anyhow. But that was the correct activation. No point in going on to the back point.
I guess he's doing it to save
Rocket for going to the middle.
Rocket for going after Toad in case CGR for some reason. Yeah.
It's too bad Toad's not affiliated web warrior. You just see a a spider tracker, he just goes further into the corner. Just
Just
game
ride him off
over.
the bat. Can't catch me.
Because
I
yeah,
was in range.
if he would have made it into the corner with the spider tracker, he would have been unreachable.
You can do it, Toad.
I believe in you. He's dead.
No. Man, well, it got sweaty there at the end.
Yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider has just been a little bit
He's been
too
hit.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, his power rolls haven't. I mean, they've been all over the place.
Yeah, he had like 2 really good ones and 2
some
bad
bad
ones.
but he kind of deserved the bad one because he just didn't. I don't think he managed his power well that round. Leaving him on that that one. That's the biggest thing that I learned when I was trying to figure out Cosmic Ghost Rider, and when I've seen him played, is like people have to show a lot of restraint with him, and you got to leave him on 2. Oh, is he gonna go grab him with Rocket? He's thinking about it.
What's the point of grabbing it? It's 1 point either way. Just
go to the middle and get your point. Pat might be calling it here.
Well, I don't think he. If so, Spectacular's going to get a web swing and then a move, and then he'll get to attack Bill
With a
with just his builder.
with his spender,
If he
it looks like.
No, he's got to spend. His spender costs 4, right? Yeah, so he doesn't have time to do both. So he's just going to have to hope for the spike of all spikes.
Well, and then he's got the proportional strength thing, but still got brace up for Bill.
Oh yeah, he still has brace, so just got to get an insane spike here and one-shot him. But if he does, I think he wins.
Well, the Rocket can still just come and take him out.
But he gets to... Yeah.
And Rocket's range 5, Spider Tracker's only a range 4 card, so... I mean, there is a path to victory for Pat, still, somehow. Poor Toad. Slimy piece of trash. Alright, well, he's just decided to just call it a day with Rocket. So we're going to see the desperation move here.
What?
He could have just done that with Bill. Or moved Bill into the middle.
I guess he wants to save Bill because in case he gets thrown off the point, he has to move back onto it. But like,
why not just move on to the middle point?
Yeah, why not just move on to the middle and see if maybe you can get onto the back yourself, onto your own back line? Like, no harm in taking a look.
Yeah. All right, so right now Lukas is scoring 2 off that back point, and then 1 off of his home point. So he's got 4. You're looking at 2, so I mean it's potentially a tie ball game. Does he just tempt fates? And so that's what Pat's kind of looking at here. Just move on to the middle. I mean, Bill would just cancel that out, though. So yeah, he's got to kill Bill.
He has to kill him. That's really... I don't see any other way.
It seems like the mod's been a little bit weird on some of the places.
It has been. Like, the clock looks all funky on the streamer view.
Does it?
It does for me.
Looks fine for me.
Well, maybe... Do I have 2 of them up?
Oh, I don't know. You just turned it off. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Oh. I turned it off for everyone? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how you did
I thought that was just for me.
It was on. I don't know. It was fine for me, but yeah.
Okay.
Maybe because we're both spectators.
Pat
Kachuk, he's hitting for 2.
2 crits.
And
Bill blocks 2. Darn.
I'm gonna be fine.
I say darn. I just wanted the game to keep going.
Yeah, Bill is effectively blocking 4, so that'll be 0 damage into Bilbo.
Yeah, so
That's ball game.
Pat got Gamma. I wonder what his other extracts were. Probably spider infected and not sure what
Paranoia.
the maybe deadly legacy maybe.
Paranoia is pretty popular for the.
But Schieck had intrusions, demons, and gamma. I think Pat would have rather had intrusions than gamma, but would have rather had gamma than demons. So I felt like Pat approached it. He had a good game plan to try to take on CGR with this anti-attrition list that is forced to fight. It was fun to watch how he approached it. I think that those 2 attacks, the got your back that KO'd Miles, and then the one shot of the KO Cat, I think were the 2 big rolls that went Luke's way that gave him the game.
Yeah, and to Lucas's credit, like he did a pretty good job of stymieing the all webbed up term. And I really liked about, we had thought like it was an odd line of play for him to go into Toad with Ghost Rider, or not Toad, but where he'd done the range 1 placement after moving him last round. That it was an odd line of play, but being able to go back there and get rid of a model and avoid Spider Tracker simultaneously, pretty cool stuff. So, uh, old Padillac is sitting here just kind of talking about. He's got some point old Cosmic Ghost Rider there, but I think I'm just going to go in here and hop into the chat, see what these gentlemen got to say. But
Yep.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
What's going on, guys?
he definitely carried. He got carried. Oh man.
hey up.
How about that got your back into Miles, huh?
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. It was a fun game.
Yeah,
I think the Web Warriors team had a
interesting.
good shot, but yeah, they died a bit too fast. Just slightly too fast.
Yeah, since you've kind of opened up for us, Pat, congratulations on another solid run. I know, everybody's always kind of looking to win these things, and if you'd ask most players, you're typically one of the favorites to do so. So, still a fantastic run, regardless. And obviously, Lucas, huge win, big feather in the cap, moved on to the Elite Eight, as it were, which is really cool. But all that being said, Pat, this is like the first time I've ever seen a Web Warriors list or heard about this that you're kind of running here. Care to share like some of your thoughts on Web Warriors, where they stand right now, and why you might be running them?
But yeah, I think they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the good ways I think in the current metagame, you've got a lot of teams that want to run around in response to Cosmic Ghost Rider, and then you've got the teams of Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Guardians are obviously the best at that. So in that metagame, I think you either play Cosmic Ghost Rider or you play the best running around team, which is Web Warriors, in my opinion. And I think Web Warriors are well positioned against Ghost Rider. You just have to hope that some of the dice rolls don't one-shot your models. And unfortunately, that didn't work out. But I think given if you replayed this matchup a lot, I think I'd have a decent chance. I think maybe I'm wrong about being favored, but it was already very close. But I think the Web Warriors have the capacity, even when the Guardians get their secures, right? They have the capacity to run around and score enough points to win.
Yeah, I think with you being able to get your extracts, that it's also certainly a strong possibility. I mean, you getting your extracts and the opponent having priority, however, kind of stymies that a bit. That being said, both Blair and I really liked your game plan of coming in with the ultra wide Web Warriors list that, still have like really good tech and abilities to be able to do things. But I think this is how you deal with a Ghost Rider when he's being used as a flagship type model, in that he only dazes 2 models per round at most. And so
yeah, and sorry to interrupt. The theory is with your Web Warriors stats, right? On average, he dazes 1, right? Because it's very unlikely that his 6 dice attack one shots any of these models.
Yep, I agree.
But unfortunately, I don't think that's how it worked out. I don't know. I wasn't keeping exact track, but I feel like I had a lot of one shots.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just need slightly more action economy, right? My game plan is to run around, prioritize the cubes, obviously, and then pick on the little guys, right? Pick on Star-Lord, pick on Rocket. Basically, ignore CGR.
Yeah, there were a number of situations and circumstances that certainly swung in the CGR favor. Like, they got your back into Miles was pivotal. It felt, like I don't necessarily blame Lukas because I feel like he had to do it. I don't think that he might have wanted to do it considering, what it does with Ghost Rider's power. But going into Black Cat there and needing to or wanting to kind of do the double days, the double one shot, I think only was like a 25-ish% chance into Black Cat to get
right. And I think if
power,
either one of those two models survive being one shot, then I probably still win the game, right?
Yeah. So
well, maybe not because they deal with Rocket, and Rocket was the only one that could get onto this back point.
Yeah. So it kind of opens some things up there. That being said, like Lukas, well played still. I don't know you to be much of a Web Warriors guy. You have in the past done a lot of things with the Malekith and the Kaijus of the world, and then typically splashing like an objective oriented team alongside it. In the past was I believe Storm X-Men. So that being said, is that what you're trying to accomplish here with the dual affiliation roster that you come out with today?
Well, a couple of things happened here. Is that I was gonna play a Guardian Splash. Curtis just said. Curtis, we're talking at second win, and Curtis, he said that just splash splash Star-Lord and Beta Ray Bill and Cosmic Ghost Rider in any list, and you've got a top tier roster. All right, it's so that's that's pretty much what I'm going for here. And yes, the pivot to another affiliation, in case you're playing a 9 threat. I don't want to play. I don't like playing Guardians on I don't want to play scenario with Guardians. I'm playing them to kill you, I guess. So to table you. I was hemming and hawing. I had a Mystique issue, a Mystique side, the Senator's plan on it with Mystique in that case, and Hulk and Juggernaut and all that. But, I mean, Pat, he put himself out there when he streamed that game with Hyper Viper, because by putting that roster out, I basically teched my roster against it. So I appreciate you doing that, Pat. I was kind of doing it too, though, because I have put all my games up, or I put my last game up too. So, that was. I hate the Web Warriors. I don't know. And Pat was saying this to me, that he heard that I hate them, and that's why he brought them.
Yeah.
So props to Pat for extra. Yeah, and yes. I was hating them the entire experience. It was very tunneled. There were very few moves I could make that would have kept me in the game, and most of those were I need to one shot this character, then I need to one shot that character. It's
yeah.
And so, geez Louise, it's I don't know. I think that playing a player that is as skilled as Pat, you're gonna run into players who have their only out is really good dice, and that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, if I have to play Pat in a Web Warrior mirror, I am gonna have to play better than I ever have in my life. But if I play Pat in an attrition matchup, I just have to roll a little better than him, and maybe a couple of my mistakes will be circumvented by the fact that I had strong dice, and so I was hoping to get my secure so that I could make this a dice battle against such a great player. So that was the general thinking going into the list.
Yeah, I'll be fully honest with you, Lukas. There were a couple of things that Blair and I, who had joined me on the cast, were kind of looking at, from an activation order standpoint to the conservative play with Bill early on in the turn one. Which is kind of something that I wanted, where we kind of question things, and so I want to try to maybe figure out your game of mind, or not your game of mind, but your frame of mind on that. But before we do that, I want to remind you, you're a pretty good freaking player yourself, man. This is not your first rodeo in cuts. You've been here plenty of times. You typically do well at a lot of tournaments that you go to, regardless of what you're running. So As great of a player Pat is, like I don't know that there's like such a maybe as massive as a gap as you might be thinking of, but that being said, like opting to go with Toad and grabbing that center extract over maybe what I was kind of thinking is like you take Bill, you put him up in the center of the board, and then maybe just let him stand there because you've got that cover, and you could have front stopped yourself from being able to maybe be pulled forward, among other things. What do you think about that, rather than maybe moving him and having him kind of be on the back point on turn one?
Yeah, my whole plan was like, okay, like I'm like super tech. I super teched against Pat's list. All right, he put it up there. It was like he's like I don't know. He played against Hyper Viper with webs, and so it's like I'm gonna tech everything I'm gonna do is gonna be built based on this list. And so yeah, I knew 17 when I put 17 together. I knew Toad was grabbing the middle because I just wanted. I mean, why did Pat play Toad, and why did Pat pick up a cube with Toad? I think it's the same logic here. It's just like he's like the best extract carrier pound for pound on like for the threat you have to bring him to the table, and he was able to like just pull cubes off of other people so they didn't take damage. I don't know, like I think that the entire plan going into this, whether it was spider infected or cubes, was Toad was grabbing that middle piece. He hit me pretty hard initially.
Yeah.
Harder than I thought he'd hit, and that's why I put him the Wingnet token on him so that he'd live through. I knew he'd get attacked at least once, and I knew Moon Knight would do it because that rapid fire happens before his slippery, and so if anyone was gonna get him one round him, it would have been him, and so that's why the Wingnet went on him, and he just took a little more damage than I thought he would, but that was kind of the plan going into cubes or spiders.
Yeah, I think the traditional line of play for like a web warrior player that's running a Gwen at the time, especially with R&D, is and even without R&Ds, you just get that impact web off and then just start pulling whatever model forward, even Toad, right? Which is, I believe, what happened. But probably a lot harder to do anything to Bill there. But and it might have, to me, it looked like it would have potentially had to force Pat into the center of the board. Pat, is there anything early on in the game that you might be able to recall that surprised you?
Surprised?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like the turn one play with Toad. I think you've got to do it. I think my chances of pulling him in and damaging him are not very good. I think when Gwen impact webs him, you've got like a 1/3 chance to do no damage, 1/3 to do 1, 1/3 to do 2.
Yep.
Or more. And if I do 2 or more, he hops away.
Exactly.
But obviously, it's like there's no reason not to try for me. I think because the odds are in the favor. But yeah, I mean, it was always going to end up being like a bit of a standoff, which is what happened, right? And then it was very interesting for me to figure out which webs wanted to be rotating forward and which ones wanted to be rotating back.
Yeah.
And I think I played that okay, but it would have been great if I could have got cubes to fall a little bit sooner, or if I'd been in a better position to scoop them up, because I think there was a round where they went just lying on the floor, right, and no one could grab them.
Yeah.
But it's because Spider-Man got one shot by the building. Yeah. It was tricky. Definitely, I mean, with these kind of games, you only need one victory point, right, for it to go either way. So there were lots of things. I think maybe I could have been more aggressive, but overall, I quite liked my kind of back and forward play. And I think Lukas did exactly the right thing, just bunkering up and trying to wear me down while staying even on points. Seemed like a good game plan for him.
Cosmic just to come forward and establish himself in the center of the board, right?
And just terrorize the Web Warriors.
The other thing that I kind of have a question about, which is just kind of regarding the Web Warriors game plan into this, is it's going to be not necessarily a 2-part question because they're not related, but 2 questions. So I guess I'll ask them separately. Sorry, I've been up a little early for us Seattle people. But were you just really trying to force crew out early? I think obviously you're going to be trying to stagger Cosmic whenever you can, but it seemed like you were trying to make an effort to try to force out crew early on to set up an opportunity for that all webbed up turn to make it so that he wasn't able to clear it later in the game. Was that kind of key to your game plan?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I wanted to get the stagger out as soon as possible. And it was why I was also happy to stagger Bill, even though it wasn't especially great, because I knew he would get too aggressive and that would offset really the advantage somewhat, but it might just add a little bit extra incentive for Lukas to use Crew of the Milano.
Yeah, we were looking at that and kind of thinking about it. It's like, well, is now the time that we have Milano, and do we wait for the all webbed up turn? And that's kind of what I was saying. Is like, nah, I think you just wait for the all webbed up turn, and then the all webbed up turn came, and I think this is probably where Lucas had, where you had managed this really well, Lucas. But I think you managed that all webbed up turn fairly well. As far as trying to negate it and all those other things. But do you regret not playing crew at some point throughout this game?
I don't know. I'd have to look back and see. I think that I was man, I was in one shot mode. I don't know, like what happened. Like Jesus, everything I was like, I need to do this and then this, and then it was like, all right, those exact things happened. And I would have, if I got staggered again, I would have played it. That was really it. I didn't want to. I needed to play it after all webbed up, but then my characters were all low on power. I think my mistake, my one blunder that I think I made for sure, was that I should have just moved Star-Lord back instead of giving Black Cat that second power. Because what am I going to do? Like, I'm making him more effective next turn for no real reason because I'm not going to get her. Now, she did take 1 damage. I don't know what the dice rolled after that, like when I did attack her next. But either way, I think staggering Bill meant that I couldn't have a great Bill activation.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out for me. I should have just moved Starler back. But yeah, I think there was I don't know what else to say. Crew, I was waiting for all webbed up. I knew that stagger was it was a bait to get me to play crew before he played all webbed up.
Yep.
And I didn't want to so it was just like, do I take the bait or not? And I opted to just have 1 attack action with Ghost Rider. I was able to I think I was able to incinerate and then attack them. So the chances of one-shotting were better than normal with the incinerate. But yeah, it was a lot of thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to at least get to the last question that I had. This is actually for Pat. I'm fairly confident you have Brace in your list, but it looks like you've opted. I think the card that I always think is weird for Web Warriors is Wheat Cakes. I think with this kind of being like a Guardians appropriate matchup, there's a strong chance you're getting a Bill out there. Do you regret not bringing Brace, or what would the line of thinking on some of the tactics cards over Brace for you, Pat, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So the way it played out, Brace would have been better for sure. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely, no doubt. I think one of the things that's annoying me is this was a big mistake on my part, and then the dice punished me really hard. On Miles's activation, where he did all webbed up, that was the round I was going to play Wheat Cakes, and it would have healed Miles for 1, Black Cat for 1, Spectacular for 1, and Gwen for 1. And then Miles would have done his plan. And I thought about that, and I was like, cool, I'll play Wheat Cakes. And then I forgot about Ghost Rider's Got Your Back. So I thought, cool, I'll just play at the end of the round. He does his hop, he kills Rocket, and then he gets exactly killed by Ghost Rider. And if I just played stupid Wheat Cakes at the start, that card would have looked really good. And it would have healed 4 damage, right? Which is actually more damage than the Brace would have prevented. So I don't think the card was necessarily bad. I just fumbled the right time to play it. So that was on me.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not a card that I typically run a lot, so I'm always curious as to its inclusion. And talking to some players, so I appreciate you sharing your thoughts on that. But I don't have anything else for you guys. Is Blair, are you still around out there? Nope, he is.
It looks like he left. I do have one thing to say now, though. I have one quick thing to say, and that's just that Curtis and I were planning on doing a Captain Marvel stream where we talk about her tech against CGR and what she brings to the table.
Yeah.
And I think we're planning on doing that. And he's my next opponent too, so hopefully I get to play. We get to put it to the test, where he gets to play Carol and I'll play CGR, and then we'll see. We'll see if it works, basically. So I think we're gonna do that sometime this week. It'll be a fun time. So.
Yeah. So if you guys are anybody out there, I mean, obviously a lot of the people that are going to tune into this stream are going to be around for that top 8 stuff between the two of you guys, 2 of Canada's finest, right? So. always going to be a treat to be able to see that again. Really want to thank you guys for allowing us to stream this game. Pat, fantastic as always. Appreciate your insights, sir. Hopefully, one of these days I can get a game into you. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this to you, but I always wanted to play against your Thanos Guardians teams. Before the nerf, right? I always wanted a piece of that. So I don't know if I've ever told you that, but it's true. It was always like something that I wanted with my traditional Guardians list. So
That's great. Well, I'm sure we'll have our chance.
yeah,
Look forward to it.
someday, man. But I want to catch you in cuts. Well, one season, my buddy Blair got you, and I was like, I was wanted to be me, but what can you do? And then congratulations, Lukas, moving on, man. It's an interesting list. It's not something that I think a lot of people are considering. Or really thinking about. But if there are two teams that are really kind of up there in the meta right now, I think you've identified both of them and you've taken the best parts of them both. So really interesting stuff, even if it is a non-traditional splash. So I love to see it. So thank you guys both very much. And I think we'll be kind of wrapping up here unless anybody has any saved rounds or alibis for us.
Just thanks to Pat for being a great opponent.
Yeah, and thank you, Lukas. Congratulations.
Yeah, you guys are both like two of the nicest people around. So I'm sure it was a very cordial, good time in there. But yeah. All right, guys. This is Barncat signing out on behalf of the old Barncast. I will be signing out Blair as well, who has just opted to ghost on out of here. Apparently he's got super important things to do at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday in Seattle. But hey, what are you going to do? All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.